Before we start the video, I just want to preface that I am not a person who books fights. I'm not a promoter. I'm just a fan, okay? I'm an MMA fan, just like pretty much if you're watching this video, I'm assuming you are an MMA fan as well. But what the UFC has been doing and how the UFC is going to be looking for the next few months is absolutely pitiful. The state of the UFC right now is not fantastic. They are lucky to have a Conor McGregor fight, at least that we know a Conor McGregor fight is going to be happening this year. Because if it wasn't for him, honestly, this year would not be great for the UFC. We're looking at the next few weeks, possibly the next few months. Obviously, I know 290 is a fantastic card, don't get me wrong. Great. You want to hear this upcoming week's card, this fight night? You want to see what the main event is for next week and the week after's fight night? Mackenzie Dern versus Angela Hill. Like, are we trolling right now? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing, UFC? I understand that obviously there was a possible fight that got dropped or whatever that was supposed to be on this fight card, but that's the best that you can come up with? That's the best you can come up with. We have Dustin Poirier itching to fight right now. We can't get an announcement for Dustin Poirier to fight somebody. You know what I mean? Like, we literally have one of the bigger guys in the sport literally waiting, biting at the bits to get a fight, and you don't get him to fight? I understand that Justin Gaethje, that's probably the next fight that's going to be happening, and Justin Gaethje still has some time to recover from his last fight because he had a war with Rafael Fiziev. But, like, what are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? The next week, Kai Kara-France versus Amir Albazi. I understand. I mean, listen, at least we know about Kai Kara-France, and we know about. I don't know anything about Amir Albazi. All I know is that he's 16-1. But what is that? I mean, that's a fight night main event. Is that worthy of a fight night main event? Why is Holly Holm still getting main event spots? All of her fights are boring. All of them. Why are we still getting Holly Holm? This ain't 2018 anymore. This ain't prime Holly Holm. She's over 40 years old. She was fine when she was the co-main event for the fight card between Chito Vera and Sandhagen. I'm fine with that. Whatever. Because Holly Holm is a known name, yes. But every time Holly Holm fights, I get put to bed. I go to sleep. I fall asleep. It's insomnia. She cures my insomnia. She's boring. She's a boring fighter. Aside her knockout victory against Ronda Rousey, name me another great performance from Holly Holm. Name me one. Name me one. Because I'll wait. There's none. There's none. So can we stop announcing Holly Holm main events, 5-rounders especially? Because my goodness, like, do you guys want me to go to bed early? Do you guys want me to, I mean, it's probably better for me. I can sleep. I can go to sleep. Like, why are we getting Holly Holm main event announcements? Why are we doing this? Why are you trying to like just insult us? UFC? Like, what are we doing? Let's keep going. UFC 289. The main events. Amanda Nunes versus Irene Aldana. Are you fucking kidding me? Amanda Nunes is the greatest women's fighter of all time. But one thing that she also holds is she holds 3 of the 4 least sold pay-per-view cards. 3 or 4 of them is from Amanda Nunes. Look it up. Along with Mighty Mouse, because Mighty Mouse, I mean, he's literally trying to carry the division on his own with like pretty much some random, with randoms all the time, at the time. She holds 3 out of 4 of them when she's the main event. This is how you treat Canada? When we go to Canada, this is how you treat them? This is ridiculous. I mean, the third fight on the fight card is Mike Malott versus Adam Fugit. Do any of you guys know who any of these are? This looks like an early prelims fight. Danny Ige versus Nate the Train, that's fine. This is another one. Marcus Andre Barriault versus Eric Anders. That's the main card. I understand by the way, I didn't mention Beneil Dariush versus Charles Oliveira, but by the way, that's a great fight. But did you hear three of these fights? Do you want to see? I mean, the only fights I really care about is Nate the Train, because it's Nate the Train and Danny Ige, and then the Charles Oliveira Beneil Dariush. Like, what are we doing? Marc Andre Barriault, Eric Anders. I mean, like, do you want people to watch your fights, or you just want to, like? I understand. Listen, boxing has this kind of issue, right? Where they stack up the main event, but then the rest of the fights people really don't care about. But the UFC, we known for the UFC for a while that they do great when it comes to building a fight card, especially pay-per-views. But this is unacceptable. And you want to charge people like over $80 to watch that? You put the price up on these pay-per-views and you want people to watch that? And so, don't watch. Yeah, nobody's going to be watching. I don't even, do I even do a predictions video for that? I might just name it Charles Oliveira versus Beneil Dariush predictions. Like, Amanda Nunes versus Irene Aldana. Really? Really? Like I said, you couldn't get Dustin Poirier in any shape or form against somebody? Let's continue. Whitaker versus Cannonier. I said Whitaker versus Cannonier. Cannonier versus Vettori. That's fine. Emmett versus Topuria. That's fine. Strickland versus Abus Magomedov. Abus Magomedov is not really too well known. I believe this is like his second fight. And I believe what's the name? Sean Strickland just wants to fight anybody. I mean, the next few months, man. I mean, we're going through what? We're in May right now. We're in May. This next 2 months are going to be rough. These next few months are going to be rough for UFC fans. It's going to be very slow, and like there's nothing going on. The state of the UFC right now is at a real all-time low. To be honest with you, I'm being honest. It's really bad. It's not great. I don't even know what to say. I mean, I'm just frustrated. I'm frustrated because I love the sport of UFC, and fight nights. I want them to be special. You know what I mean? I want them to be special. Having, when you have a fight night main event, make it a big one. You know what I mean? Because you want people to still watch the fight nights as well, along with the pay-per-views. You want to always keep that constant, attractions where you can kind of do what boxing is doing and give us a really good main event for the fight night. What are these main events for fight nights? I mean, what are these main events? A Holly Holm main event? Listen, I know Holly Holm is one of the bigger names in the women's division. In women, yeah, right? She hasn't had an interesting fight in who knows how long. Honestly, probably her last fight was her last entertaining fight was the Ronda Rousey fight. So, I don't even know what to say. This is very disappointing as a UFC fan, and I hope that they can get back on track because right now these next few months is going to be rough for us. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed, like the video, and I see you guys, and yeah, God bless you all. Peace.